Well, hello, geeks and gamers. It is I, Jesse Milestone, here to tell you that yes, it is a good goram thing that Firefly got canceled when it did. No, don't cry, don't cry. Just hang out, just hear me out, okay? All right? Why? Why is it good that probably the most incredible television show ever made only made it 14 episodes and then got axed? Why is that a good thing? Jesse, please tell us. Well, for one thing, the most obvious reason is they never had a chance to ruin it. I mean, yeah, it's very possible we could have gotten several more good seasons out of it, but that's the whole thing, right? When a show is successful, and this is capitalism for you humans. This is capitalism. It's a wonderful thing, and it's a fucking terrible thing, because that's what happens. When a show is successful, it gets renewed. And it continues to get renewed until it sucks, and then it goes away, right? Yeah, it could go away because maybe your lead actors are like, fuck this, and want to go off and do other things, right? Yeah, every now and then, there's just, the people making the show are like, we planned for this much at the end, but that rarely happens. If a studio's like, dude, this makes us money, keep it going, fucking write yourself out of this hole that you started halfway into the season, and make a stupid ending so that we can continue into next season. That's what happens. And that's what would have happened ultimately eventually to Firefly, of course. It doesn't matter, how much you like Joss Whedon, how talented you think he is, at some point, because that's the whole thing about TV, right? It's very anti-intuitive in a lot of ways, because you can't write yourself into a hole, right? Stories have endings. That's a thing, right? In life too, chapters of your life come to an end. Periods and points come to an end, and they happen in natural ways. Sometimes when we expect them, and sometimes when we don't. And in TV, you don't have that luxury of being like, well, it just seems like this should happen now. These two characters should probably get together. No, we have to drag out that sexual tension for like 8 more seasons. So like you always have those, and so you're always gonna get stuck, right? You're gonna get stuck. You have to. It has to happen. It happens to every show. Every show has lulls. No show is has 1,000 perfect seasons, right? Every show either ends shitty or has lulls, in between, and they maybe are fortunate enough to get that last season to write themselves out nicely. But for the most part, that's the way it is. Lost my train of thought. I'm not as good as Jeremy. I'm sorry. Yeah, you can't write organically because you have to. If you write natural things when they naturally happen, your stories end. Your stories end when you don't want them to, and then you have nowhere to go from there. So you get written into a wall. That's what would have happened at some point with Firefly. At some point, it would be disappointing. So there's that. I mean, there's that right off the bat. There are other reasons why it's good Firefly went bye-bye. One of those reasons is Serenity. Now, I know not everyone is 100% on board with Serenity. I think you're kind of crazy if you're not. I love that. I love what they did with that. And look, I was not a Firefly watcher when it was on television. I was not one of those people who loved it, or found it before Serenity came out, and then had to wait. Ooh, let's see what's gonna happen. Oh, Serenity. So I feel like some of those people are the ones who are more disappointed. You guys, let me know if you guys watched Firefly when it was on air. How did you feel about Serenity when that dropped? If you didn't watch it while it was on air, if you watched it after the fact, how did you feel about Serenity when you saw that? If you haven't seen Serenity, don't listen to the list when I start talking about Serenity because it's full of spoilers, which is like right now. Serenity, I mean, what a wonderful, magical thing that the whole cast wanted to jump back on board, that so many years later to make that happen. Again, you may not like it, but there are some incredible things we got in that film. For one thing, it's a movie. It's a movie now. Now our arc is different. Now our storytelling is different, and we can have some of those satisfying moments of closure. In some ways, movies tell stories that are truer to life. Obviously they end in happily ever after, and that's sometimes, or like they tie up with a neat little bow, and that's not really life. But that a part of your story does have an ending. That's what it is. We're telling a part of somebody's story, a piece of somebody's journey, right? And it does have a nice, neat little ending. Happy, sad, whatever. Wash. There were some really cool, technical things about Serenity. It was the first movie that was shot in HD. Don't know if you know that. First movie that was actually shot in HD, and has one of the greatest continuous clips of all time. The opening after the title sequence, it's about like an 8-minute two shots actually, where they go through the entirety of Serenity, which is just totally bad. There's a follow shot on Mal, and it's the way, it's the things we all loved about. That's the reason why everyone was like, oh my god, Birdman is such an amazing movie because of the way it followed the one character, but it would bounce to different people and stuff like that. And we never passed the camera off in the same way, but it's the same kind of thing of, let's go through here, let's check this out, let's boom, ba boom, ba boom, boom. Now, they built the ship in 2 different pieces, so at one point they do a whip pan, and that's where they drop a cut, a nice seamless little cut in there, so it does look like it's one continuous shot, but they did shoot that in 2 different pieces. They could have done it in one if they had the full set built, but that was the obstacle for that. So that's really cool. If you didn't know that about Serenity, watch that scene. It's so cool when you think about, like, this was one shot, and you can imagine how many possible takes there were for that. The blooper reel is another reason why it's great Serenity exists. If you're like me, you've watched the blooper reel for Firefly and the blooper reel for Serenity about 1,000 times each. And my favorite part is my favorite blooper. I'm quoting the blooper reel, because that's the thing I do. Deal with it. My favorite thing in the blooper reel is after Mal has just gotten off the little video call with Inara, and he's like, y'all were watching, I take it? And you see us fighting? Trap. And in this particular blooper, y'all were watching, I take it? And you see us fighting? Trap! And it's just, I just scared my cats. It's just brilliant. It's just Malcolm Reynolds in all his genius. So if you haven't watched those blooper reels, oh my God, watch them. There's so many, and we get the payoff. We get the payoff in that one, rather than waiting seasons and seasons and having it trickle in slightly and being like so blue balls, by the time Mal and Inara finally kiss. And I kind of like that about the film, that they don't actually kiss, they don't actually, that payoff we don't get in the same way. But so many other things get paid off. We learn about, the big cliffhanger from the series obviously is, what's River's deal? What's the story there? That's very gratifying to get that, taken care of, to dive into the, the evil that is the Alliance a little bit more. What a great character. That's a great character. Chiwetel Ejiofor plays the operative. What a phenomenal, masterful. Talk about a really beautiful, he's one of those beautiful villains, because he's like lawful evil. He's a lawful evil, and you don't get a lot of those. Like, he's really, he believes in what he's doing, and the most brilliant part, again, lots of spoilers, the most brilliant part of his whole character development is at the very end, right? When he's failed his objective. His objective was never to kill these people, It was to bring River back, and it was to stop the secret from getting it. It was specifically to bring River back so that the secret that she knew wouldn't get out. That was the whole thing. That's why they needed her, because she knew the secret, and it was going to get out, and so they needed her back. And once the secret got out, he was like, I'm out. Just walked away. What a brilliant villain. You see something like that actually in Thanos, right? The end of Infinity War. Infinity War spoilers right now, so, if you haven't seen that yet, more spoilers. The end of Infinity War, we see Thanos. He's accomplished his mission. He's done what he set out to do, and he's just chilling peacefully on a planet. What's so gratifying is that you usually see people who've achieved these goals, and you see them look like dissatisfied or upset or unfulfilled, and you see him look just very, very gratified. Like, this is it. I did this. I did what I came to do. I think those character choices are part of what make both of those such strong, incredible villains. That and incredible acting, because Chiwetel Ejiofor is a wonderful actor. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce his name right. If you do, kudos to you, but I don't. So yeah, and oh my God, the Kaylee Simon payoff is of course the best. The most brilliant, hell with this, I'm gonna live. Like, that was amazing. I still remember the first time I ever saw it, and being traumatized when Wash gets the stake through the chest, like, very traumatized. And again, that's a nice thing about the movie, is you have the liberty to do that. It's hard to just kill off your core cast in a TV show, and yeah, while it sucks and we miss Wash and that's terrible, it was a strong choice. It was a really, really strong choice. I loved watching the way it affects Zoe in the next scene, and it really just dove into you emotionally in the film. And then I was so distraught, though. I was so distraught, right? And then River jumps out into the horde of Reavers, and I'm like, yeah, the only way that I'm gonna be okay with this movie is if River just kills them all. And of course she does. Also super gratifying. Really kind of fun to see. Summer Glau is such an impressive human being and you don't get to see her really at work, what she can do. She's a dancer. Like, she was trained as a dancer. A lot of the stunt work that she does in Serenity, she does that. She does those moves. It's just, it's her. It's beautiful. It's graceful. It's brilliant. It's amazing. So to really get to tap into like those more skills that she has, that we don't really see her full range of talents at work in the TV show. And you get to just have all those really gratifying moments in there. That was a movie. Kathleen Kennedy, take a look. This is a movie that was made for the fans. It was made to pay that off for us. And as you can say, people know about it. Some people have seen it. Some people who don't know about Firefly have seen Serenity. But it really, I mean, that's what it was, that's who it was made for, that's who it was done for, and so whenever I hear these little, all the rumors, because they pop up every now and then, they always pop up, the rumors, oh, Firefly is gonna be, gonna have another season, I'm just like, no, I don't, at this point, I don't want that, it's not going to, we already had the thing that the grad of the gimme, that here you go, have these feels, right, you're not going to improve upon that, at this point, I mean, it's just everyone's, are they going to be doing the same thing as, all these people? And it almost won't be the same anymore because all these characters have different associations now. I mean, Nathan Fillion is Castle for so many people. And that's why it'll be really shitty. I mean, think about it. If Firefly came back on now, everyone's just going to watch it and be like, oh, look, it's Castle. Oh, look, it's a chick from Deadpool. Like that's, Marina Baccarin, kudos to her. Amazing to have her, in that film. But we've just... these people have gone on and done different things, and other people now know them from other things. They're going to be like, look, it's that guy from that thing, rather than just, oh, look, it's Steve the Pirate. But, so yeah, it wouldn't be the same now. It wouldn't do it justice. And the other thing, so the other big reason why I'm glad that it did get canceled is because of the community that was created as a result. If Firefly stayed on the air and did really, really well, and tons of people know about it, and then, great, everyone knows about Firefly. It's just one of those shows people talk about, like Game of Thrones or Westworld. It's definitively not cool to like Game of Thrones. There's nothing, it's just a normal thing. It's just a thing. If you don't like Game of Thrones, people think you're weird. It's just a thing people like, rather than, when A Song of Ice and Fire was out and people were just reading the books, everyone was like, oh my god, this is so good! And could actually be nerdy about it. Game of Thrones is one of those things, kind of like Star Wars, that's no longer just, if you're just mainstream enjoyer of this, purveyor of this thing, no longer nerdy. So there's that. Firefly is special. You get people reading quotes on my wall. Like that one. It says, you can't take the sky from me. And people get excited because I have a random ass Firefly quote on my wall. They're like, yeah, it's Browncoat. Just a little thing. I was at the Ren Fair over the weekend, and there was they had some bone pins, and one of them said, curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal. And another one said, I swear by this pretty floral bonnet, I will end you. And I love things like that. I love, quotes like that, nerds like me can get all into and obsessed about and be like, oh my god, other people who know Firefly. If you want to be at my level, you will understand when I say things like can't sentence properly. As we've established, I quote the blooper reel. But there's something to be said for that community. Firefly, and because not everyone has seen it, right, you have an excuse to watch it over and over and over again, because it's a gift that keeps giving. You meet somebody who hasn't watched Firefly, and you're like, let's watch Firefly, and you sit down and you watch Firefly with them, and it's a bonding experience. It's a great thing that you can, I mean, normally, no one just, pulls out episodes of random, 8,000 series shows to watch. Which one do you want to watch? I'm not there yet. Firefly, you're like, let's watch an episode of Firefly. It's, always a thing you can do with people you like and you care about. Just watch an episode of Firefly. It has its own status, because it's small enough that it's sort of digestible, right? You can have a handle on the whole thing, right? It's if you're a Firefly, you're super into Firefly. I'm super into a bunch of shows, right? I'm super into Supernatural, and I have not ever sat down and rewatched the whole thing. There's just too many goddamn seasons. I'm behind right now. You can't do that. You can watch a season at a time. Maybe you dip in and out when one of your friends is binging it, right? But it's hard, and even if you watch the whole thing, there's bits you're gonna forget, there's moments you're not gonna digest, right? You can be a real proper obsessed fan with Firefly. And yeah, I know, I'm sure people have rewatched Supernatural 1,000. I know they have. I know people who have. It seems like a lot of time when I could just easily digest all of Firefly. I wish I could show it to you, but it's under a bunch of crap. I got the coffee table book of, all these fun production backstagey things. I recommend it if you're a nerd like me and you love it. But yeah, I haven't, it's the right size where I can, have all of it. I can enjoy all of it. I can appreciate all of it. And I can know, basically everything there is to know about it. So, there's that. So sometimes, and we live in such a, and where the reboot, the remake, the sequel, that's all we get over and over, is we get new and new and new, and all it is not even new, it's just the same thing but worse. I can appreciate the fact that Firefly exists in its perfection, that it never had the chance to be ruined, and I hope you guys can too. Alright, that's it. If you like me, I'm always on Mindless Entertainment if you want to see more videos, otherwise I'm going to catch you again real soon.